Well, we've had a few days of rain, but today is glorious sunshine, and the rain has really done wonders for the growth in the garden. I've had a little few changes about since I saw you last. I've got rid of the log edging here, which I had. It was an old piece of log that I salvaged from a neighbour's garden when they cut down their cherry tree. So I've just moved it to a different part of the garden. And I've moved this Euphorbia from here. This is a Schefflera Taiwaniana, and this was buried deep back in the border, right back there. But the trouble was, it wasn't really flourishing, so all I did was just move it slightly forward, just to give it a bit of a chance to grow. It's a beautiful looking plant. And look at those leaves. I know it prefers a slightly more shady spot, but it is quite shady here. This plant now is about, I think it's 2 years old, and it was bought as a very small plant. But it has put on some growth, but I'm just hoping that by moving it slightly forward, it'll just give it a bit more of a chance. I also cleared some euphorbias from here. Also added a cutting of a little John Phillips that I had in the greenhouse. And I think that'll do quite well there. It's quite sunny against this back border. I know it'll grow quite large. So hopefully it'll grow. I know it looks a bit strange there at the moment, a little bit lonely in the centre, but I know it's got to have a bit of space. The cherry tree log that I had from a neighbour's garden, I've just edged along this pathway here. I think it looks quite nice there, and the garden is looking absolutely beautiful now. It's lovely to see some sunshine today, but the rain that we had was really needed. The new Cannas are now in their place in the centre here. These are right in the centre of the garden, so when the sun comes out they are in full sun. So I'm hoping that they'll have plenty of room here to grow and put on some size. I do like a canna in the garden. I think they give a really tropical look. And this part of the garden is also looking really full now at the moment. Look at the size gone now on this Tetrapanax. The leaves are wonderful and they look absolutely fantastic, glistening in the sunshine. I do like a heuchera at the front of a border just to soften all the edges, and this one is a really good example. It's got some lovely flower spikes on it. really is doing fantastic in this shady spot. I love the blue colour on these salvias. They really add some brightness to the garden. I've got a few of these Fatsia japonica in the garden. This is one of the best ones that I've got. It's not the biggest, but the leaves on this are absolutely perfect. And it really is in fantastic condition. It must like it in this area, but I don't treat this one any different to the other ones in the garden. I want to move this Ascot Rainbow Euphorbia from this back border here. To make the job a little easier, I'm going to trim away the flowers first. There's lots of new growth inside, so by trimming away these flowers here, it'll make it easier to dig up and either transplant to another location, or I may keep it in a pot for the time being in the greenhouse, just for it to put on a little bit of growth. These old flowers are a little bit leggy now, and every time it rains they're almost on the floor. Now I've created a bit of a space at the back here, and I've moved that Euphorbia, trimmed it back and just moved it over to the left. I've got this Euphorbia John Phillips. I know these grow quite large, and I think it'll make a good backdrop for the back fence here next to the eucalyptus. And while it's still quite small, it'll give me somewhere to put my ricinus later on in the season. And this is the original plant of the John Phillips where I got the cutting from. I've also managed to buy 3 Cannas. Doesn't really say what variety they are, but I've been round a few garden centres and none of them seem to have any Cannas in stock. I don't know if there's a shortage of them, but they all seem to say that they're at least a month behind. And it just says Canna Hybrid. I chose these ones. They had a few different varieties in stock, but these ones I chose because they grow up to 150 centimetres, which is 1.5 meters. And I've cleared a space here in the centre of the garden where I'll plant all 3. Thank you so much for joining me today in the garden on this wonderful sunny day in June. Why not subscribe to my channel for regular updates? And until next time, I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.